The moment you stop chasing approval, something shifts in a way most people never notice at first. Not slowly, not subtly, but instantly. Beneath the surface, the world begins to treat you differently. People sense it, even if they can't explain why. They may resist at first, push harder, try to pull you back into their expectations, but it doesn't work anymore. You've stopped reacting, you've stopped explaining, you've stopped validating. And in that silence, a kind of authority quietly grows. Most people spend their lives trying to be liked. They adjust their words, their tone, their very presence to fit what others want. They walk on eggshells, terrified of disapproval, desperate for recognition. But chasing approval doesn't make life easier. It makes it shallow. It keeps you small. It turns your energy outward into everyone else's hands and leaves your own potential untapped. When you stop, when you reclaim your focus, suddenly the same people who seemed indifferent start noticing. Not because you're louder, not because you explain more, but because you are solid, present, unshakable. It starts with the little things. The first time you say no without over-justifying. The first time you withhold your opinion when it's expected. The first time you let someone misinterpret you without rushing to correct them. Each small act is a signal. You are no longer a participant in everyone else's narrative. You are your own. People will test you. They always do. The ones who relied on your approval will push harder. They may try guilt, charm, anger, or pressure. They'll expect you to react, to justify yourself. But if you maintain your calm, your silence, the tension grows. You are no longer predictable. You are no longer owned by expectations. You are untouchable in the ways that matter. This isn't about arrogance. It isn't about withdrawal. It's about clarity. It's about seeing life without the lens of validation. Every reaction that once drained you now has no effect. Every opinion that once mattered now passes like air. In that freedom, respect appears. Authentic acknowledgement of your presence, your calm, your authority. Many will resist. Many will misunderstand. Their discomfort is a sign that your silence is effective. They feel exposed. Chasing approval is exhausting. Every smile you force, every compromise you make, it creates a drain on your energy. When you stop suddenly, your energy stays with you. You feel lighter, you feel stronger, you feel aligned. At first it feels awkward. At first it may feel lonely. People will demand responses, reassuring their own expectations. But each moment you resist, each calm breath you take, the world begins to recalibrate around you. Some may label this cold, but in reality, it's clarity, it's strength. And as you practice, the effect compounds. You begin to notice the subtle ways people adjust, the way requests change, the way influence comes to you. There's a profound freedom in letting go of approval. It reveals what matters and what doesn't. Silence and non-reaction are active tools. Every pause is intentional. Every withheld response is strategic. Over time, this becomes a habit. Your power grows silently, steadily, like a current under the surface unseen, but unstoppable. Conversations no longer drain you. Challenges no longer provoke panic. You move with intention and speak with weight. The moment you stop chasing approval, life responds. Opportunities appear, connections deepen, influence grows. You realize something critical: freedom, power, and respect were never outside of youth. They were waiting for you to stop giving them away. This is part 1. You've begun the shift. Part 2 will take you deeper into maintaining this power under pressure. By now, the shift is becoming noticeable. The moment you stop chasing approval, your presence begins to carry weight in ways most people fail to recognize immediately. They sense it, they feel it. Even when they try to maintain the same dynamics, something invisible has changed. You are no longer reacting to their expectations. You are no longer giving them power over your choices, your energy, or your time. And that absence of reaction, your calm, your silence is magnetic. It unsettles some, it intrigues others, and it draws the right kind of attention to you. People will try to pull you back into old patterns. Some will become aggressive, testing boundaries. Others will employ charm, guilt, or subtle manipulation, expecting you to justify yourself, to explain, to perform for them. They do this not out of malice, but because they are accustomed to leverage over those who seek their approval. But each time you resist, each time you hold your silence, the pattern breaks. You demonstrate that your energy is yours to command. You demonstrate that influence does not come from bending, performing, or over-explaining. It comes from being aligned, consistent, and unshakable. The internal work is critical. Every thought, every impulse to explain, to defend, to appease must be noticed and acknowledged. Awareness is the foundation. When you feel the pull to seek validation, pause, observe it, name it. Let it exist without acting on it. The first few times, this will feel uncomfortable. It will feel unnatural. You may even feel a sense of loss, as if something essential is being withheld. That is exactly the point. You are reclaiming what was always yours. Control over your own presence, your own energy, your own mind. In this phase, you begin to understand the true psychology of influence. It is not about volume, persuasion, or argument. It is not about winning someone over through words or performance. It is about control without force, about quiet authority. Every withheld reaction, every pause instead of explanation, every intentional no creates a ripple effect. The more predictable your compliance once was, the more noticeable your new alignment becomes. People begin to adjust without knowing why. They mirror your calm. They pause where they used to pressure. They reconsider where they used to dictate. This is influence in its purest form. And yet, the real challenge lies in consistency. People will notice inconsistency more than any single reaction. If you slip even once, old patterns attempt to reassert themselves. That is why the discipline of presence is not a single act, it is a lifestyle. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce your boundaries, your silence, your calm authority. Every misstep is an opportunity to return to your center, to reclaim alignment. With each moment of conscious choice, your internal power grows. Part 2 is about applying this power under pressure. When conflict arises, when someone attacks your ideas, your values, or your decisions, the temptation to react is strongest. The mind tells you to justify, to argue, to appease. But the strongest influence comes from composure, timing, and subtle action. A pause before responding, a measured word rather than a flood of explanations. A silent gaze instead of immediate rebuttal. These small acts carry more weight than any lengthy defense. They demonstrate presence, confidence, and unshakable authority. It is also a test of patience. People are accustomed to immediate reactions, to quick validation, to constant reassurance. When you withhold it, tension rises. You may feel the urge to give in, to restore equilibrium. That is natural. But every moment you resist, every pause you hold, teaches not only others, but also yourself. You learn that your value does not depend on their perception. You learn that influence is earned through presence, not through approval seeking. You will start to notice subtle shifts in relationships. Some connections will deepen, others will fade. This is natural. When you stop giving energy to those who drain you, space opens for meaningful interactions. The people who respect your alignment will step forward. Those who once relied on your compliance will either adapt or remove themselves. This is not manipulation. It is the natural law of boundaries, authority, and focus. In every action, consider intention. Ask yourself, am I acting to satisfy my own purpose, or am I reacting to someone else's expectation? Every decision guided by your own values, rather than by the need for approval, reinforces the internal architecture of power. Over time, these repeated choices compound. The moment you stop seeking validation, you stop being controlled. You stop being predictable. You stop being an extension of someone else's desires. You begin to occupy your own space. Fully, and that space commands respect effortlessly. By the midpoint of this practice, your life begins to feel lighter, clearer, more deliberate. Tasks that once seemed overwhelming become manageable. Interactions that once triggered anxiety now pass without effect. Opportunities align naturally. People adjust, and the sense of internal authority becomes palpable. You begin to understand that chasing approval never created influence. It only scattered it. True influence, true respect, arises from alignment, presence, and the refusal to react unnecessarily. In Part 3, we will go even deeper. How to sustain this power in hypershare situations, how to expand it across social and professional contexts, and how to make your calm authority a constant force in life. By the end of that phase, the transformation is complete. Silence, composure, and internal alignment become second nature, and the world responds accordingly.